Greg Barnett. I play in the Menzingers, and this is Count Your Bruises. Oh, Germany. We've had, the first thing I think about is how we've had some of the most incredible times touring ever here. Germany has always kind of been our home base here in the mainland, and we've played so many cities here that it's hard to count. Like one time we played a city called, it wasn't a city, it was a little village called Dessau, Germany. And the next day we found a swimming hole and we met these kids, these younger kids, and they couldn't believe Americans were in Dessau. So it's just like, whenever I think about Germany, I always think of just how many wonderful experiences we've had here, and how many cities. We were trying to count them. I think we've played over 30 different cities here. So it's, it feels like home over here. Most important milestones. Well, I would go. I mean, there's a bunch. So getting our first record contract with Go-Kart Records and recording a record, that was a really big deal for us. And then when we did our first tour, we did a week tour that I booked myself, and most of the shows fell through, or no one came to them. But it was still exciting. Getting signed to Epitaph Records was a big deal for us, and before that, getting scared to Red Scare Industries, that was a big deal. Coming to Europe for the first time, that was huge. We never experienced anything like that before, and it was really, really, really exciting. And now we're putting out a new record, and that's another milestone and excitement in our chapter of a band. Yeah, so we have a new record coming out, and it's definitely how do you say this? Okay, so the way we went into the record is we really just wanted to write a really fun record. We wanted to write a record that you can throw on at a party or at a bar, like at a jukebox, and just play the entire thing straight through. And it's just like a good sing-along, fun record. And I really think that's what we accomplished. It's just like I look back on all the songs, and it's just you don't want to skip over anything. It's just like a fun body of music that's. I don't know. It just puts everybody in a good mood, and it's just an exciting, fun record. And everyone that we've shown it to has kind of said the same thing, and it's really exciting. And we just really wanted to play songs that would translate really well live and get people excited. So I think we did that, and to tell stories. They're all we like telling stories in our songs, and we definitely do that a lot on the new record. There's a lot of themes and things like that that I don't want to go into too much, but yeah. That's the one thing I can't say just yet. I can't say anything about the release date. All I've been saying is that it's coming out in a bit. But yeah, that news is coming up soon. Things, it's crazy. Working with like bigger record labels and stuff. A lot of things just take time. We're so impatient. We recorded it. We wanted to come out the next day, and they're just like, no. We got to do this. We got to do that. So they're like, okay. But they have our best interest in mind, and it all makes sense like when you plan it out. So it's coming out soon-ish. Fond and terrible memories, both, a mixture of the two. Yeah, that song is just, totally, that's exactly summed it up. It's just a nostalgic look at, two people, and just, a lot of the themes that in this record is, we're all hitting that 30-year-old marker, which is pretty daunting and scary, especially when we've just been traveling around in a van for the last 10 years doing this. So, so that song is just kind of looking back on, a lot of it is looking back on on me as a person, as being 20 and being in a van and just being wide-eyed and starry-eyed and, kind of wishing that I could have that. Sometimes I have to kick myself and remind myself that, you still can have it. So a lot of it is like that. So. Well, I hope my 16-year-old me would like it. My 16-year-old me would probably say it's not fast enough, and it needs to be punker. But I think it's a punk record. So I think my 16-year-old self would like it. The one thing I was thinking about recently was that I wish I could tell my 16-year-old self that it was all going to be okay. That one day you'll, be in Europe touring with the Bouncing Souls. And it's all going to work out. So don't freak the fuck out so much. So that's what I would tell myself when I was 16. I don't know. I think I would like the record at 16. I'm trying to think what my favorite band at 16 was. Yeah, I like the Menzingers. I think it's definitely like we were all kind of in a darker place, not in the best place mentally and everything, stable-wise, home life and everything. So Rented World had a lot of like darker kind of themes on it. When I look back on that record, I think of it, in that kind of light. It didn't have much optimism to it. It was like we were going through some tough times, and that really reflected the songwriting. And in this one, not to say that it's all very positive songwriting, but in a way it is a lot more because we've all reached a point of just reaching a more comfortable, happier part of our lives, and I think that kind of shows through that the songs just sound a little bit more optimistic and a little bit more light at the end of the tunnel on a lot of the themes and stuff like that. So that would be the biggest change, I think, in the two albums. Yeah, I guess it's tough. It's crazy because I've always considered myself. I was always the youngest kid on every tour that I've ever done, and now I'm hitting the age where I'm not. I'm the old. I'm sometimes the oldest. Besides the band, I'm the youngest in the band. But we go on tour, and all the opening bands would be younger and stuff like that. And it's crazy because I've just always considered myself the baby on the tours, but times have changed, I guess. What I would say about that is I would just say to you're always going to go back somewhere. That is the first thing. You're always going to go back somewhere. So it never makes sense to get into fights with people at venues and be rude and trash dressing things like that. Like you don't want to have a reputation where that you're the asshole band that doesn't give a shit about everybody. So just treating everybody from like the door guys to the booking agents, the people even collecting a merch fee, whatever. Like everybody needs to be treated with respect because you're always going to bump into them again, and you always do. Like we've been. I would never think that I would go back to some of these little tiny towns that I can't even pronounce, and I've been there like 4 or 5 times now, and I still see those same people, and it's great to see them. So just that's the most important thing I can always think about is just treat everyone with respect and treat all the bands that you're with respect. Everybody, all your fans, everyone you meet, because you're always. That's just being a fucking good person. But also, you're always going to be running into those people again. And you don't want to be the asshole band. You want to be a band that people are like, oh, I'm excited for them to come through town because we get to hang out with them and they're nice people. And that's, I think, the most important thing. Wow, if I could ask them one question. Um, it's a tough one. I wouldn't ask them a question. I would ask them more a demand that maybe they would both step down so that we can have a real candidate. Because it's a very, very unfair thing that's happened in American politics, where we have 2 people that are the most hated politicians in our country, and those are the 2 people that we need to vote for. And it's unfair, and it's not democratic, and you can just see people are just completely fed up with it. And yeah, I don't think that it's fair. I think that neither of them are fit to be the president. I wouldn't ask them anything. I would just say, please resign, step down, do whatever you can. You're not fit to run our country. Yeah, honestly, I definitely see that happening. It's weird because we wrote this record almost so long ago before the election and everything, and politics play a very important part of like all of our lives. We're very up to date with all that, but I don't know. That wasn't really what the focus of the songwriting was about, and it's crazy now that like after the record's out, it's just become you can't not talk about it. It's so important. So you're like, how could we let this happen? So I mean, I definitely could see it. See us writing more politically charged. That song. So.